stand right, key points. So you always start with your feet when you're standing because that is your foundation. You want to stand with your feet comfortably below you. It's about hip width apart and they're going to start out parallel. We then set up our feet so that we can use our arches. If you have flat feet, this is really good to get in touch with your arches and to strengthen them bit by bit. This takes time. So what it's going to look like is this. Starting with your feet parallel, we are going to externally rotate our left foot. In your view, it's on the right side of the screen. We're not going to rotate the toes out. We're going to bring the heel in toward the right foot. In order to do that, we're going to weight the ball of our foot, that's the area of our foot, underneath, just behind our toes. Now we're going to weight the ball of that foot, and we're going to swing our heel in. Notice the arch wrinkles up and gets higher when I do that. That is actually engaging the muscles of the arch of the foot. If you have flat feet, this is a really good exercise for you to decrease the flatness of your feet, improve your arches and the suspension system. Now we are going to go ahead and do the other foot. And in order to do so, we're going to, again, weight the ball of the foot, and we're going to swing our heel in towards our left foot, increasing that arch. Now both of our feet are externally rotated, and so is our knee and our hip, which gives us better alignment to absorb shock. Our arches are better and ready to absorb shock. They've increased. Now if you focus in on my right foot again, you're going to see that arch shorten and wrinkle, meaning that it got higher and shorter, or the muscles in the arch are contracted. This is about the angle that we would have our feet naturally in to stand right. Okay, so going through the feet, we're going to put our weight on the ball of their foot, and we're going to swing my left heel in towards my right heel. And in order to do that, I have to swing my knee and my left hip out. And to do that, I'm using my lateral glute muscle. So now I'm going to demonstrate on the right side. So I'm weighting the ball of my foot. That's the portion of my foot underneath, just behind my toes. Now I'm going to use my glute to swing my knee out, which brings my heel in. In doing that, I've externally rotated my feet about 5 to 15 degrees, depending on your natural body's movement. From there, we're looking for a soft knee, which is not locked out and rigid. Remember, good posture is never rigid. It's fluid, it's mobile, and it absorbs shock. So we want that soft knee, not overly bent, not overly rigid, a soft knee. From there, we look at our pelvis. Now remember, your pelvis is like a bowl, and if you imagine the contents pouring out the front, that gives you a slightly anteverted or forward tilted pelvis, which puts our pubic bone down towards the floor under us instead of up in front, and it also gets your behind you. So from there, we have our arches, we have soft knees, anteverted and soft hips, anteverted pelvis, soft hips. And from there, if you just bounce up and down, you can see that you're better at absorbing shock than if you had joints locked out. Moving on up into the rib cage, our marker is the xiphoid process, the bottom of our rib cage center. We want that to come down and back. So your xiphoid process, the dead center of the bottom of your rib cage, you want it down and then back, tilting your rib cage. Now if I leave my pelvis still, not moving it, I can rotate my rib cage forward and back. If I go too far back, I'm arching my spine, and if I go too far forward, I'm rounding my spine. So we want to have a straight spine with an anteverted pelvis behind. And so now our rib cage is flat in line with our pubic bone, and we can work on our chest, opening that up so we can breathe better, shoulders back and down. For the shoulders, you always want to do it one at a time, and you're going to go forward, up, and as you go back with your shoulder, externally rotate your arm all the way back and down, and you see how that opens the chest. Repeat on the other side, forward, up, back, externally rotate and down, and now my chest is open. From here I recheck, my xiphoid process is still down, totally relaxed, dead weight, and you'll see my palms or my thumbs are forward, which is saying that my hands are neutral instead of internally rotated. So that's what it looks like in kind of real time. Chest open, ribs down, and then I'll check my neck, bring my head back over center, my chin comes down, and I want to have my chin down so that I don't have to actually move my eyes much to focus on the floor 6 to 10 feet in front of me. If I was walking, that's where I need to focus for my gait to be natural, or if I was riding an animal, it's the same angle. And if you draw a line from your ear to the tip of your nose, your head should be slightly angled down, making that line angle down. So this is about where my stand right posture would be. Everyone's is going to be a little different, but it should feel good, it should feel relaxed, and you should feel your muscles holding you up instead of resting on your joints.